AITAH for distancing myself from a friend without fully explaining why right away? So I, 21M, recently decided to take space from a friend of mine, 21F, because I was starting to feel uncomfortable and emotionally drained in the friendship. There wasn't a big blow-up, just a build-up of things that made me feel like I needed to reflect on our dynamic. One of the things that stuck with me happened a few months ago. She sent me a photo of a guy who had been liking her Instagram stories and asked what I thought. I responded like I normally would. I said he was cute and that she should message him if she liked him. The conversation ended there. The next day, I messaged her about something totally unrelated, I think it was skincare advice, and while sending that message, the photo of the guy she had sent was still on my screen. As a callback, I joked, "Lol, also hello too, friends, future man." She answered my skincare question but later said it was weird for me that I responded to the image again. And okay, I get that it might have been unexpected. But for us, that kind of joking was normal, so I didn't think it was a big deal. That's when she started comparing me to James Charles and saying I was acting like him by trying to go after straight men. That really shocked me because I've talked to her before about how hard it is for me as a queer guy to navigate crushes, and how uncomfortable it is to not know if it's safe to express any attraction. Especially when I don't know if someone's queer or not. I've told her I don't want to come across as predatory or weird, and hearing that comparison made me feel really uncomfortable and ashamed for just joking. When I told her I was hurt by the comment, she kind of doubled down, saying she was joking, but that it was still weird of me to reply to the photo like that. It felt like my feelings were being dismissed. We eventually kind of moved past it over text, but things still felt off. Then the next time we hung out in person, with another mutual friend there, we brought up that situation casually. The mutual friend joked, "It sounds like you were intimidated by me," and my friend said, "Low-key, yeah." That comment hit me again. It made me feel like maybe she really did view me in a weird, competitive light. That's not how I want to feel in a friendship. Like I'm someone to be intimidated by, or someone she's measuring herself against. More recently, another thing happened that reopened these awkward feelings. I sent her a TikTok. We regularly share random ones with each other, and this one had a satirical tone about how people treat bisexuals. The audio was that lady who repeatedly says "I don't like bisexuals" over and over. She responded negatively saying it made her uncomfortable. Which, okay, I understand everyone has different boundaries. But her tone felt sharp and kind of critical, and it surprised me because it wasn't anything graphic or serious, just a joke. I explained I didn't mean to make her uncomfortable, but I could tell the energy shifted. She recently explained to me that the reason why she felt that way about the video was because, her words, "all of the times I make bisexual jokes have made her feel weird about her own sexuality, and that I've made an unsafe space for her to talk about her sexuality." I felt that, especially after the James Charles incident, she wasn't being all that serious about my emotions and how I've tried to be honest with her. That was kind of the last straw for me. Not because of just the TikTok, but because it felt like a pattern. I try to be lighthearted, and somehow it turns into me being made to feel like I crossed a line or made things weird. I realized I needed space to just figure out what this friendship was doing to my peace. I didn't ghost her. I told her I needed space and would prefer to talk in person. She said she couldn't because she was going out of town, but later started messaging me saying I was punishing her, giving her the silent treatment, and making her spiral. She said she felt like she was on timeout and that she deserved something. Eventually I told her that I wasn't mad, just confused and hurt, and that I needed time before having any deep conversations. Even though I felt like she was already making me step outside of my boundaries, I explained that the intimidated comment, the James Charles comparison, and the overall tension lately had been making me feel emotionally unsafe. She responded by saying the intimidated comment wasn't serious and that she hasn't thought about it at all since it happened. And that she just said it because she felt put on the spot. She also said that instead of pulling away, I should have just said my bad about the TikTok and moved on. So, AITAH for taking space and not fully explaining everything until I felt ready? I genuinely tried to handle it calmly and with respect, but now I'm being made to feel like I was cruel, distant, and withholding when I was just trying to protect my peace. I genuinely feel like I am spiraling just writing this out. Really quickly, sorry, I know this is a long post, I've just had this on my mind for a while it feels like. And I forgot to include that when she came to me about feeling put on timeout, she also expressed that she didn't like how I was still talking to our mutual friend, which we were in a group chat together with. I say we're because at the beginning I did remove myself from the GC so I could really focus on myself at the time, and she also said she didn't like that I had sent a picture of my kitten to her cousins. Some context there. I agree that that might be weird, but her cousins were the people who rescued the kitten and I already regularly send them updates on said kitten since they've asked to stay updated on her growth. I think that's all that needed to be said in this post. Thank you again for taking the time to read and respond.